your PiMP Daily Dose for June 10. We're still here at E3, so let's see what's going on. Come on, keep going, keep going. Quick! Woo! Okay.
How's it going, guys? We're here at the Activision booth here at E3 with Glenn Schofield of Sledgehammer Games. And Glenn, we just had a look at Modern Warfare 3. How's it taken the next step up in gameplay from Modern Warfare 2?
Well, in a lot of ways. I mean, first of all, we've had to really upgrade the engine so that we could create these levels and these big cinematic moments. If you've seen the levels, you've seen all of parts of New York, and then we've built the skyscrapers, and we go into London and all over the place. So we've taken the battle to urban areas and much larger maps, and of course added a lot of new weapons and things like that.
And can you just tell us a little bit about the campaign we just saw?
Sure. Yeah, the campaign takes place right after Modern Warfare 2 ends, so we're just like a couple hours after it. DC is burning, and the United States is still, in a battle. So we start with pushing them out, the Russians out of the United States, but then the battle goes into Europe, and it's in, we even go into Africa and Russia, so it's truly a global event.
And what can you tell us about Spec Ops?
Spec Ops, it's come from sort of a bit piece from the last game to a major feature in the game because everyone just loved it. So, now you can upgrade and, it's still co-op, but we've added a brand new mode called Survival Mode, and that's, you can do it online or sitting on a couch, and it's just wave after wave of new enemies coming on, infinite amount of waves. So it's always going to change. It's really addicting, although we still kept the mission mode as well. But I think the big thing about it is that you're constantly upgrading, constantly getting new perks.
Okay, no worries. Well, guys, check out Modern Warfare 3 on November 8th. We're here at the Activision booth with Gerard, who works on the Spider-Man Edge of Time game. And Gerard, we just had a look at the game, and there's a lot of movement between Spider-Man 2029 and the Amazing Spider-Man. Can you tell us a bit about that gameplay?
Yeah, in fact, the player will be able to play both those Spider-Man in a time travel storyline. Well, you'll be able to play Amazing Spider-Man in the past, and each time that the player will change something in the past, it will actually change things for Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. As well as when the player will be able to play Spider-Man 2099, things are going to change all around him, because of what Amazing is actually doing in the past. So there's a great mix, and they are in constant communication, so it helped us really building a great story around that.
Yeah, and the interactions between the two Spider-Mans, can you tell us a bit more about that? It was pretty entertaining from what we saw.
Okay, this is what we call the cause and effect gameplay. The player then will be able to race against time as Amazing, in order to solve different solutions while Spider-Man 29 is stuck, for example, so he can go at some place, change some things so that unleashed and help Spider-Man 2099. And in the other hand, Spider-Man 29 has to work closely with Amazing because he wants to prevent a catastrophic event, which is the supposedly death of Spider-Man. So they have to work together, and it will be in the gameplay.
Okay, and there's not just fighting and combat gameplay, there's a little bit of puzzle solving as well. Is there a few differences here from previous Spider-Man games?
Well, we add a lot of new features in the game. Well, we have this hypersense on Amazing Spider-Man that helps him dodging like almost everything and helps having a very strategical aspect on the combat, as well as Spider-Man 2099 have this accelerated decoy where he can almost be at two places at the same time. So he can, lure his enemy and going in their back and hitting them. And we also have this great features, which is the chronal energy, because both of the characters are like messing with time and they're changing things like everywhere. There's this chronal energy that allows them to like freeze time and freeze enemy or slowing down some of them, and that the player can use anytime, So this is all part of how the time travel comes into the gameplay.
And how is it working with Marvel?
Oh, working with Marvel was really great. We also had the opportunity to work with Peter David, which is the co-author of Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. He actually came 1 week at Beanox, and we closed ourselves in a room and just having brainstorms on the story, and wow, can we kill Spider-Man or not? How and what are the different plots? But also discussing into all the gameplay mechanism and how the time travels can go deep into gameplay. He's a fantastic guy, and we also used to role play a little bit, you know, in those situations. That was pretty amazing, yeah. And Marvel was very, very cool to work with also. They give us a lot of tips. They've been really there when it was about, you know, Spider-Man and difficulties meeting with Spider-Man. So it was really a teamwork on that. It was really great.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, PiMP fans. We're here with Dad Hira, the producer of X-Men Destiny. Now, we just came out watching the demo of the game. Can you tell us a little bit about the brand new characters?
Yeah, so X-Men Destiny is the story, or really the origin story of 3 brand new characters making their way into the Marvel Universe for the first time. They've only just learned that they're mutants, and they're just discovering what powers and abilities they have alongside with you as the player.
Okay. And we saw a bit about the Destiny feature in the game and how that fundamentally changes the way or the path of the entire game. So can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
So X-Men Destiny is all about player choice and really creating an experience that is tuned to your particular play style. In terms of the way you upgrade your powers and abilities, as well as the way the narrative plays out, is all based on choices that you make in the game. When I choose my character, I'm going to, or depending on which character I choose, I'm going to get a different perspective on the story and sort of get a different arc that's tied to that character, that's unique for that character. Also, I get to choose for the first time in an X-Men game which power I want to assign to a character. So that's a really neat thing because, their destiny has not yet been written, and I get to be a part of that.
So even though the classic X-Men that we see, in the movies, in the comics and all that, aren't playable in this, you still get to use their powers and their mutations.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an X-Men game unless we had all the favorites from the comic book world in there. We've got Wolverine, Gambit, Colossus, and those guys. We also have some new faces making their video game appearance debut. And the way you interact with these guys is in a number of ways. You're right, you don't play as them, but you do fight alongside them. You get to talk with them, and they'll give you side missions and quests. And additionally, as you mentioned, you're going to unlock cool powers and abilities to add to your own power set based on the characters you do interact with. So for example, I may have a core power like, say, energy projection, but when I meet Wolverine in the game, I may be able to unlock one of Wolverine's powers and add it to that energy projection to enhance and upgrade that power.
Excellent. And when do you expect it to be out, release date?
The game's coming out in late September of this year, and it's coming out on the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and the Nintendo Wii and DS systems.
Excellent. We're looking very forward to it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, PiMP fans. Christina here, Tim's here, and we're here also with Chris, director of Radical Entertainment. Yeah. Now, Prototype 2 is returning back to New York.
Yeah, actually, Prototype 2 is in a whole new environment called New York Zero, which is it's 14 months after the original setting of Prototype 1. And so you play James Heller, who is a complete badass, who is a shapeshifter as well. And so in this game, we have James Heller up against Alex Mercer. So it's basically prototype against prototype, which never normally happens. So it's a pretty epic game. We're out in 2012, and we're really excited.
And just tell us about some of the new features in there, things like the biobomb, the tendrils, those sorts of things.
Yeah, so today at E3, we've actually been showing off some exclusive stuff. One of them is the biobomb. So we want players to feel way more in control of their character, way more tactical with their combat as well. And so you can actually now, as James Heller, infect nearby enemies, pick them up, and then throw them as a living human bomb. And so when they go off, it basically tendrils fly out of the guy and will hook onto nearby cars and objects and basically cause a giant explosion. So you can create distractions, which is a whole new element to the game. You can also, of course, use your tendril power, a whole new power. We're bringing some of the coolest moves from Mercer back, as well as adding new cool moves to Heller, and tendrils is one of them. And so you use tendrils to basically web up entire intersections. Cars and taxis will go flying. You can break apart enemies. So we've got a whole bunch of new cool features coming in. We're showing some of those today, but we've got a long way to go, but we're super excited.
Cool. Thank you. Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And that was your PiMP Daily Dose for June 10. I just finished playing Duke Nukem Forever. Amazing game. So make sure you get your copy today. And as for me, I'll see you soon. Where's Karen O'Connor? Can someone tell